this will work. YouTube. Let's go live. Yes, I am live. Okay. So, welcome to the stream. Should probably open up some type of stream chat. I will pop out the chat so I can see it. There is the chat. Okay. I wonder how easy it is to see what I'm doing when I type. Uh-oh. I need to kill. Okay. I had to go ahead and kill the. Going to minimize this. It's a bit loud. So I had to kill the Chromium. Whoops. And that's because I can't full screen Chromium yet. It breaks with the window manager. There's some type of property I have to configure when I do that. I believe I'm still live though. I don't think this matters much. But I do need to just verify that the stream is actually visible in some capacity. So it is 1080p. I just want to make sure that everything is visible. All the small text, because I'm running like 204, so I don't know. Let's turn that down. Let's make sure we have full 1080p, and we can turn it into theater mode. You know, I think this is good enough. I think you can read the text. Okay. So what I'm going to work on right now is I want a development environment. And I think the main reason for this is, well, I do development. I'm going to be writing code. In the stream, but I also just want my task manager, which is in Emacs. So let me go ahead and pull in all that code. Or let's just get Spacemacs booted up. I'm so extremely happy that I shouldn't have done that. Create new image. The pop-up window for OBS doesn't work. So I can't actually open up a webcam. So we're going to do this webcamless. Okay, so I think Emacs should be good to go. Let me go ahead and open that up. And there we are, we have a Spacemacs. Let me just make sure that you can see all the text. It looks like you can. That looks good enough to me. I think that's about as small as the text is going to get. So I think to me that is readable. Maybe not on the recursive visual. Okay. So it has to install all of these packages, and then I need to update my .spacemax. So I will let that happen. I am going to pop out chat, which hopefully it spawns over here, which it did. I need some way to organize windows. I think that's something that I want to do. There is a viewer, but I believe that this viewer is me. But if you are an actual viewer, say hello so I know that you are a real viewer. So let's see, Spacemax is, it still has a lot of packages to install, so I will let it do that. Although I will go check out the Spacemax layer for C++, so that way I can just go ahead and get into editing code for the system. I have all of this set up on uh, my other machine, but this is a brand new machine, and I honestly don't feel like going over there and copying all of the code and such. And I can't even open a file while it's doing this installation process. That's fine. So let's see, Cling support. I think I want Cling. I think that, yeah, fly check with Cling. Auto completion with company Cling. Okay, so yeah, I need to install Cling. So that will be Cling Arch. I think I can just, yeah, Cling. So I'll just go ahead and do that over here. No one in the chat currently. That's fine. I have 26 kbps up. 2600, that's not bad. I think it's pretty good, running at 30 FPS. It's not great, but it's not bad. And then the 1080p quality isn't perfect. I am just going to be honest. I might want to bump that up to like 1920 or something. It doesn't look. Oh, I'm looking at the recursive version. Silly me. Here, let's take a look at this text, and then let's go back here and let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I go over to the text. I mean, it looks okay. It looks fine. Looks good enough, I guess. I'm probably not going to code with that small of text anyways. Okay, so now to go to Spacemax. I'll just increase that. Make it easier to see. Okay, so I am just going to go ahead and I forgot what the eShell layer was, because I do believe I want that as well. So this will be yeah, it's just the shell layer, I think. I don't even generally use the default command. Version control, I think syntax checking is good, spell checking. And I don't really want spell checking in my code. And then I want the C++ layer. Okay, so let's see. C++, C++ mode enable cling support. True. Surely this should be the default, right? C++ default mode for header C++ mode. I would expect that to be default. Okay. So this will reload everything. And then I believe Cling is appropriately installed now, which means that I should be able to open up the HackMatrix code and program in it immediately, which is nice. It's been a while since I've looked at this code. Okay, need to auth. Think I can just open up my GitHub app. Oh no, I don't think that will work, actually. I think I need an actual auth app. And guess what? I have one. Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and save the password and open up the HackMatrix repository. There were actually some things that I needed to do, I think, in order to get HackMatrix set up appropriately. Something I want to do is I don't have SSH enabled. Yeah, I don't need a password. And then I think I can just cat SSH id.pub. I can just go ahead and copy and paste that into my settings. And I believe everything is public key, so doing this is not a problem. Code security. Wait, how do I add my key? Normally I would probably click into like deploy keys, but it's not a deploy key. Secrets and variables. That's not what I want. Oh, it's in my personal settings, I think. Need to go to my SSH key. I have a lot of them. Let's go ahead and add HackMatrix laptop. That is the host name for this machine. Well, it's just HackMatrix, but okay. And so with that, I should be able to do a HackMatrix clone, although I already have it, and I have get status. I have some things that I have changed that I want to, specifically the get modules. If one does not have SSH set up, when you go to clone Tracy, it is going to throw an error. So I want to always use the HTTP path. Let's check on the chat. No one in the chat as of yet. It's pretty early in the day, so I wouldn't expect maybe a lot of people in the chat. I'm not sure. I'm not super happy with the bitrate on this, but to be fair, I don't have like gigabit internet. I'm working out of temporary housing at the moment. And I'm going to be moving to an Airbnb with, I suppose, questionable internet. I'm not entirely sure what that will look like. Okay, but anyways, I think HackMatrix should be loaded up here now. I really think I'm going to change the resolution of the screen. Everything's just so small on the laptop. Okay, so what am I doing now? What am I doing? Oh, yeah, I was going to, I can do that in Emacs. I am going to open .get config, because origin is going to be SSH, and then I believe that is how one does SSH. So let me do a get status, get add, get modules, get commit, this is going to throw an error almost definitely. Update get module to use HTTPS. Get config global user.email colinalexbell@gmail.com. Config global username colinalexbell. Now I can rerun the get commit, get push. Fatale. Okay, so I think I can just go back to HackMatrix. And then I believe I can go to the SSH and just copy this. Vim get, oh, I don't need to do it here. I can do it here. Okay, so I do that, I believe, and now I think I can push, get to push, based. Okay, so that should resolve. I think I want to try to log into my Discord. It's been a while. I am in fact human, but I do not in fact have the correct password. I guess I would, scale down? Push the scale down, well. Thought it was asking me which one to scale down. Which one would you scale down to make it even? Not which one is going to push the scale down. This is insane. Doing like weird ass brain teasers, and it still doesn't work. Yes, I'm human. Just let me log in. Oh my god. It's probably not going to make me do as many. I just messed up the first time. I think I'm out of ideas for passwords. Okay, it's evident to me that I don't actually have a password for my Discord, so I'm not going to check on that at the moment. What time is it? I think I might go get ready for some gardening work at some point soon. I just wanted to get a short stream out, even though no one has talked to me on the chat. Take some work setting all of this stuff up. Okay. I guess I can see whether or not Cling works. Let's open up the good old window manager. Yeah. Oh, it's using Lisp mode. Nice. I wonder if it's using Lisp mode for Cling. Well, it knows what it's doing. That's nice. Can I do like code help? Help? Yeah, nice. Emacs is so dope. I use this thing at work. It's actually easier to use Emacs at work than it is VS Code. I think if I uncomment OBS, it will actually find the OBS instance when I restart. So that way it doesn't kill the stream. So I may bake that in. Mostly because I want to be able to stream and still be able to see my OBS session every time I restart. Let me see what else. Do I have tests? Because I don't think I do. Nope, I do. Make test, I think. Look at that. The tests are broken. Why are the tests broken? I think what is it complaining about here? Move set ID. Oh, how does it even know then? I changed the ZMQ format a long time ago. I have to install the ZMQ or the protobuf IDE module. I've been up since like 5 a.m. So I've already been up for, I guess, 5 hours, almost 5 hours. Whoa, it is, oh, okay. I think it's already installed. Protos API. Okay. Or maybe it hasn't already installed. I think it might be doing that. Okay, so there is an API request with a move parameter payload. And so for all of these tests, I'm not sure what the problem with the make unique is here. No template matching constructor for the API. Okay, so the API constructor isn't just not that. Is there even... Okay, so I need control star. Do I have to mock controls? Like, is it going to... what does it use controls for? I wonder if I can just pass in a null. API controls. Okay, so it sets controls. And then in process batched request, it uses move to for the player. Well, here's the thing with the API. Grab batched pull, mutate entities, pull. Batched request. There is a player move and a move. Message type. Turnkey player move move. I guess I can, like, for the key stuff, for this stuff over here, I think this still works. If I press dot, it will open up, should open up Emacs for me. Or it would open up Emacs if I had an Emacs server started. Actually want to do that. Start Emacs server. Server start. Okay. Okay, so now I should be able to run Emacs client and it should pop it open. Open up Emacs. Oh, maybe Emacs client isn't even installed. How do I use Emacs client? Emacs client space make file. Let's just so it says waiting for Emacs. Personally, I don't think there's a server. HackMatrix is the WM. If you guys are still here, sorry, it's hard to see that because of how it's set up. Why does it? Okay, that's just not working the way I want it to. Let's see, are people still watching? Anybody? Yeah, there's at least one person watching. Hello, person that is watching. I'm going to turn this into a completely brand new distro. It's like an RPG distro. I'm probably going to sell laptops, or at least try to sell laptops that has the distro pre-installed. That's kind of the idea. That way I can like keep the window manager open source, but make money off of the laptop. Or I've also been thinking about like an RPG type thing. And then it would be like either like Guild Wars model, you buy the RPG once and you get it for like X amount of time and forever, or like a World of Warcraft model, I'm not sure. It already supports multiplayer, which is cool. I can spawn these little guys here, and they'll walk around. So someone can spawn into this space, and I can see them. Okay, so I think I'm going to eliminate API.cpp from the, or at least eliminate these tests, because the problem, oh no, that's not a problem. Never mind. I'm going to pass in a null pointer. I believe that works for make unique. Maybe I have to cast it to like a oh, okay, no, I think it's fine. I think no. Controls star, right? Undeclare controls. That should be correct. Oh, does it actually take a? It shouldn't actually take a controls. It takes a control star. So why won't it accept my control star null? Did I import controls? Why is it complaining? Takes a string, a world interface, which I believe is what that returns, and then a control star null. I think maybe I can just do a null PTL. It's been a little too long since I've. Why won't you let me pass a null pointer? Control star CTL equal to no. Oh. It actually needs to be a comma. Jeez. That's literally the public interface. Maybe it's the entity registry. Wait, what? Oh, I need an entity registry. I don't need a world. I need an entity registry. That's what it's complaining about. Let's see if anybody else in the chat. Hi there. How this room works? Wait, how did you do that? Oh, yeah, this is my window manager. So I did this by just writing the code to do it, I guess. I don't know. Are you still here? Oh, there's 5 people watching. Hello, all 5. Okay, so this is an entity manager. What is it going to use the entity manager for? API CPP entity. API. So this is the registry. So it's going to ask to translate the registry. Tests. I'm seriously just considering deactivating all these tests. See, the problem is that I think I wrote think I wrote all of this code back before I had an entity component system. I wonder if I can just remove it from my makefile. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Goodbye. So now I don't need to do this. These tests are borkened. Okay, let's see. Chat. He can't see the messages, so he literally has to walk to the chat. Yeah. Yes. This is Emacs. I should put the chat up in my window or up on my TV, or maybe I can add chat to Emacs. That would be cool. Technically, I don't have to walk. I have a hotkey, but yeah, it's kind of have to walk. I'm trying to make this like i3, so that way I can like lay out windows very nicely. Like ideally, I could run this at like work, and people wouldn't know that I'm like hacking in my own window manager with like 3D stuff, and then I can like uh, turn it into 3D mode by spacing out the windows in a different way. But like ideally, if I could lay out the windows such that like they're just on a single, I don't know, screen or plane or something, I could switch between them and no one would ever know that I'm even in a 3D editor or 3D window manager. Um, okay, so I think I can go back to the shell and make the tests. Oh, I have a very bespoke um, test suite, or actually make file here. So um, I probably want to get rid of that, but dynamic object. I don't even think I have dynamic objects anymore. Do these tests even test anything? Do they test anything useful that I have kept in? Oh, none of this. What's the point? I'm just going, oh man. All of those tests are testing stuff that I've removed from the system. I want to keep them just for the pattern's sake, but okay, so that's not great. But let's see. Does anyone have any questions? I am open to answering them. Subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Already answered that. That's Emacs. Can't see the messages. Have I tried? No, I have not tried Linus Torvalds version of Emacs. I didn't even know that he used Emacs. I guess it's not so surprising. But mine is just stock SpaceMax. So something that is interesting that I could probably do right now, although it would kill all of my windows, is that I just got a new GPU, which means that my fragment shader, it was optimized for like I didn't even have a GPU on my last machine. So there are things like where is this? It's like the shadow, it's like some factor in the shadow that causes this really weird tearing. You can see it, like if I go here, you can see on his face, there's like that weird, you can see this tearing here. And that is because of the step of how it calculates the shadow. And now that I have a significantly more powerful GPU, I'm able to calculate that stuff better. I think it's the bias or the closest depth. I think it's one of these. No, that's I would have to go back to learn OpenGL to see that. Whoops. So this would be in lighting shadow mapping, maybe? Advanced GL. Advanced lighting, there it is. So it's the shadow mapping, and then it tells me, yeah, here it is. So it creates these, it's called shadow acne, I guess. It shows you exactly why it happens. It's just the way the ray traces. Yeah, you can see it right there. I think I have some Peter panning, but it's not as bad as I guess it could be. So if I look at one of these blocks, let's see if I can find a good block to show this. Here we go. So the shadow should start at the very edge of this block here, and you can see that it cuts inwards. So that is Peter panning, and that's caused by some type of bias calculation as well. It describes exactly how it happens in this document. PCF. Oh wow. So they're like doing a blending. I think I have shadow acne on the door. Let me go ahead and open that. Entity editor. Let's go to the door. I think if I turn the key and then unturn the key, it opens the door. Unturn the key. Turn the key. Okay. So here's some like weird shadow artifact that happens with distance. You can see that it only starts from this light source. Where is that light source? The light source is a different color. It's the same color as the background. It's difficult, makes it difficult to see. But there's like this weird sort of shadow artifact that gets like thicker as it gets farther away, and then there are like these weird like speckle points. I think I can get rid of that. Yes, why? I don't know why, but why? Yeah, I'm trying to make like a sort of immersive programming environment, like an RPG. Like I want people to get addicted to like work, basically. Um, just because like I myself um have like really pushed myself to get good at programming, and um it took a lot out of me to do that, and it took like a lot of self-control. I'm a college dropout, and like I have like a $250,000 salary, um, despite being a college dropout, and a lot of that was due to just me like grinding super hard, and it was like really like lonely and difficult. And I think there is a better way to learn, which is like sort of social. Except I dropped out of college. I didn't really like the classes, but I think like you can create a sort of campus environment, or like a social environment, without school. But like people who have tried it, like it's kind of lame. Like they create like they basically take the shit parts of class, the shit parts of university, and turn that into like the online university, and it's like that's like worse than actual university. Um, because you just took the bad parts. The good parts are just like hanging out with your friends. Um, and you can kind of do that in a virtual world. I mean, nerds do, like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars. Um, I was a pretty big Guild Wars fan for like a year. My brother was like super into it. RuneScape, like these are all virtual worlds. And so if you can like program in a virtual world and you interact with your friends and just like go on adventures and shit, I think it would really improve the learning experience. So other college dropouts can you know get good. Um, so that's kind of the idea for HackMatrix. Um, Another thing is that I'm into robotics, and so with robots, there's like a pretty physical component, um, and so you can either manufacture the robot, but a lot of people like simulate them. And the simulation software, then there's like something like Gazebo. There's a few other things. It's not great. Um, I mean, it's awesome. It's good software, but like it's not super immersive. And so like if I wanted to like build a video game where I could uh, like design, manufacture, simulate robotics. So that's kind of what this entire thing's about. Uh, I can learn the coding and logic solving at this top, not programming. I can't make stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. I think I think there is like a pretty strong like gap between the logic and the problem solving stuff, and like actually like building a product. And I think that's one of the things like I didn't like college, because I just like the product aspect of things. So I personally just like worked on projects, even though like some of my first projects were like not great. But over time, I think I got better at it. So yeah, just make shit is the process there. I think like if people were to test me, and I have been tested for like my problem solving skills, like I'm okay at it, especially if I practice. But I'm not like a super genius when it comes to that type of stuff. I kind of seem dumb, and when I do that, um, but I think my like product skills sort of compensate for it. Let's see. I think I now just want to review this code. Um, Probably going to wrap up the stream in like 15 minutes so I can go do some gardening. Um, but I do just want to sort of refresh my memory of the code, because I think I'm going to aggressively work on this project. Um, So this is all of the graphics stuff. And then I think the engine is the primary repository for all of the components. It's what actually initializes the entity component system, I believe. Yeah, set up registry. Creates all of these component persisters. This pattern is not great. I have to create a persistor per component because all of the components I store them in an SQL database, and I don't use an ORM. I just have manually written all of the SQL, and then the way that the entity component system works is that it can't dynamically switch to like it can't dynamically switch based off of like the type of component. Like you always have to parameterize the registry when you add things with the type of component. It can't do a dynamic lookup of the type, and so I have to because of that. I have to manually add all of these persisters based off of the type. It's not great. I can go into this and show that actually. So when I persist, or save, or whatever it's called, it iterates through all of the persisters, which each have their own type. They're in a list, and they go to save, and then so each persistor where does it do that switching? Save all, persistor, persist. It just adds so it's really the persistor that does all the work. Okay, yeah, so I create these persisters in the component header, or in the component itself. So the persistor is what actually does that. So I have to, when I save something, I have to iterate through all the persisters and then try to persist that particular component for the entity. And if it doesn't contain an entity, like you can see here, well, that's weird. That lock doesn't even have a save individual. I wonder if I can find one that does. Bootable may. Yeah, here we go. Wait, save all save. Man, all of the save, I don't even think I used that. I think I just created a stub for it. I used to save that. Let's take a look at light. Okay, here's one that does. It is interesting that do I even set up a light persistor? I guess I do. I know I'm all over the place with this stream. I'm just, again, like trying to refresh my memory and I'm sort of just talking through things. Okay, why are you saying this stuff like it's a bad thing being a dropout, CS degree, just a waste of time? Yeah, I mean, um, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there are like a couple ways to gain experience. One of them is to like graduate college and then like get a good job out of college. And I did not get a good job out of college. After I dropped out, I got like the lowest paid job I possibly could, basically. I think I got paid like $10 an hour. My first salary job was like $35,000 a year, and this was like in the 2010s, like 2014 or something. So like people were obviously making like six figures, and I was making like five, like and very low figures. So like, I mean, it was like a serious grind. So it's not a bad thing. It's just a different way to go about it. Um, they taught me the language, not how to actually. Yeah. Oh yeah, the online courses. I have taken a few online courses for like Scala, but when my mentor at the company that I worked at 2 companies ago told me to take online courses until my laptop arrived from the client, because I was working for a large corporate client. He was like, just take this online course about Scala, and I'm like, God, I hate these online courses. They're really not great. Um, Now, if he said, here, take this hack RPG thing about Scala, where you program, um, I don't know, solutions to RPG problems, that might be fun. Which is again why one of the reasons why I'm making Hack RPG or HackMatrix. Okay, going back to the engine. Let's see. So I set up the registry and then I load all of the entities from the database. I'm actually surprised I have. I'm surprised any of this loads actually. Like, oh, no, no, I'm not surprised. Originally, I think I was storing it in like PostgreSQL or something, but it's actually SQLite eShell. So if I go to cddb SQLite, I probably don't even have the SQL, yeah, sudo pacman syu SQLite, I think. I don't have the uh, binary that would allow me to even open this. I only have the library inside of the C++ app. Uh-oh. Why did my Emacs just teleport? Help. How do I like see the tables? I guess it's tables. Okay, so these are all the components that get persisted. And so like if I select star light, you should see select star from light. You should see two entries. I think these are the like light color values. So like if I take a look at this light and I go to the that's another thing I need to do. I should probably keep a list of things that I want to do. I need like a search or like an organization. I need to organize this entity list because right now it's just like this giant mass of information um, that makes it really difficult to find the particular entity that I'm looking for. I think this is it. It doesn't actually change the color of the light itself, which is funny. Oh, maybe that's actually the one on the inside. or outside. That might be why it's. Is that even the right light that I'm mutating there? Yeah, okay, so I am mutating the one out here, that one right there, which is not what I wanted. But if I go and persist this now, persist all, I go back to the database, oops, and I run the command again, select star from light. You'll see that the light values for the second light here have changed to be that sort of yellow color. So all of the data for the engine gets persisted in this table, or in this database. Select star from entity. These are all the entities. Apparently they only have an ID, so it just shows me which entities exist with an ID. Sometimes they get deleted, and so like it's not guaranteed that there's going to be 1 through 25 entities there. And then each entity has a component or several components associated with it. Most of them have like select star from positionable. Most of them have a positionable. You can see that there are 24. And like this data just shows like the position of all of the things. There is the XYZ, the rotational XYZ. It's probably easier to see in this. So you can see the positionable component. You have a negative 2.5 for the position. You have an origin, which if you load a model, sometimes you want like the model to like the center of the model to like be on the ground, or to be like, sometimes you just want to move the center because it's not always predictable where the center is. So that's what the origin is for. And then there's a rotation and a scale. So I can come down here and look for a negative 2.5, 0.26, and a negative 23 with a, so like this thing, this robot is like one of these here. So yeah, that is the positionable. Let's see. I like that you put the same 4 years at coding and programming and will end up better programmers. Yeah. Those put for the same 4 years at coding and programming. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is the case. To be fair, I had like 3 years of like college education with like internships and stuff. At some point I got into robotics, and there was a class that taught neural networks. And this was before like neural networks were like super popular. And I don't know, I just became obsessed with the class. I took the class twice, and then I was like, I'm building robots now. Like there's not a path for me. HackRPG or HackMatrix does not currently work with VR. Um, I think I want to target VR. I definitely think that's a thing. I actually think in the long term, I want to like manufacture VR headsets that just run this Linux thing. I think that's like my ultimate sort of goal for this. Um, but right now I'm just starting with a window manager, and then I'll probably progress to like selling like System 76 type Linux laptops that have it, and then um, laptops are relatively easy to get from an OEM, sort of custom built. That's what System 76 does. I can sell those, and then maybe make a VR headset at some point, like 5-10 years down the line. I don't know. But I'll definitely support VR before I make VR headsets. One of the major problems with supporting VR at the moment is that, I guess I can show what the problem is. The system uses X11. And so if I go to app.cpp, you can see all of the X11 header here. So this is what manages all of, or this is what loads in all of the screens to a texture. And it's very X11 centric. And so there's a problem with X11 where there is a facility to map input to an app. So like, if I click on this parenthesis, it knows that I'm clicking on that parenthesis. And it does that by mapping my cursor position from the window manager it does a delta to figure out where the origin of the window is, and then it says, okay, the pointer is this many pixels to the right and this many pixels down in the window, and that's the position, and then it sends that to the app. For 3D, if I turn this like this, and then I click on the app, it doesn't. You can do the mapping. You can say, okay, let's take this 3D perspective, map that to a 2D perspective, and then let's say how does that map into the window? The math, it's a little more complicated. It uses matrices as opposed to just 2D coordinates. But it's relatively easy math. But the problem is that X11, which is, this is an X11 app, and this is all based on X11. X11 does not allow me to pass a position to the app. I can't just say, okay, let's just pretend the mouse is, at position 200, 200 in the app. There's an API to do it, but at some point, X11 decided that this is a security risk. We don't want people passing mouse clicks or mouse pointer positions into our apps. And so all of the apps, especially like GTK, which is what Emacs is running in, Emacs is a GTK graphics library app. GTK is like, if you send us pointer information, we are just going to ignore it. We're just going to take the pointer information directly from the X server. So basically, you can't do pointer projections for 3D space using X11 is the sum of it. And so I would have to port X11, port all of this X11 code, which actually it's not a lot. It's most of the code is in the app. There is some code in the renderer, although it's probably mostly abstracted away, like this register app stuff is probably mostly abstracted away. I think all of this can probably be used not with X11. And then there's some X11 stuff in the window manager itself, probably the space. Yeah, I think I just saw some X11 stuff there. Or maybe not. Now here's some, like these events, this e.xnmap.window, like all of this stuff in this window manager.cpp is all X11 based. You can see it uses the XLib. So all of that will have to be rewritten to use Wayland, or Wayland, I guess people pronounce it. Which Wayland it's quite a bit of work. It's not as heavyweight as X11, so like there's some stuff that I would have to manually code. So yeah, it's on the roadmap. But okay, what time is it? I think I've been running this stream for an hour now, something like that. So I am going to kill the stream and go do some gardening, and I'll be back later. I just wanted to get sort of my environment set up and read some of the code, and yeah. So, adios.